ฝนตกไหมตกครับหนักด้วยแล้วก็ตอนนี้มันเพิ่งหยุดมั้งแป๊บหนึ่งนะโอเคฮัลโหลโลโลโหเมื่อวานนะผมเล่นยาวจริงนะแล้วแบบผมนึกว่ามันจะจบเว้ยที่มันยังไม่จบอะไม่เหมือนแบบต่อโอ้โหเหลือจะเชื่อดูกันว่าเอ้ยจบแล้วโอ้แม่งเอ้ยจะ6 โมงแล้วกูพักเลยแม่งยังไม่จบ มันเพลินจริงยอมรับเลยใช้ได้เลยยอดเยี่ยมโอ้คือมันแบบเปิดมาแบบโอ้นึกว่าจะจบแล้วใช่ไหมต่างคนต่างแบบเขาเรียกว่าอะไรนะแบบต่างคนต่างเหมือนแบบปล่อยวางได้อะไรเงี้ยอะไรเงี้ยเปล่าที่ไหนได้
24:10 It's not gonna be on that side
หลับไปเลยเมื่อวานอ๋อก็ไปย้อนดูครับต้องได้ย้อนดูไปแล้วใช่ไหมเพราะว่าอันนี้มันจะต่อจากเมื่อคืนนะ
So 24:25 should be that
ไม่
way
งั้นผมไม่รู้ว่าหลับไปตอนไหนแต่ว่าถ้าหลับตั้งแต่ตี 1ตี 2นี่ก็น่าจะข้ามไปประมาณหนึ่งครับ
If the fireflies are still out there
Yeah.
what do you think they're up to
I don't know. The goal was always to restore society. I mean, there's all sorts of ways to go about it.
ก็คือหลังจากที่เราเล่นในส่วนของแอป
Just a sec.
เราเล่นในส่วนของแอปบี้ใช่ไหมก็เล่นตามไทม์ไลน์ไปใช่ไหมแล้วมันก็ไปประกบกันตรงไอ้นี่ไงตรงไอ้ที่มันมาฐานเราอะแล้วก็ต่อจากตรงนั้นเลยครับ
Seems like a strange place to find a resistance group
ก็คือ
We had all
เรา
sorts
ก็
of outposts.
สู้กันเสร็จใช่ไหม
Again,
แต่เรา
so
เล่นใน
guess
ฝั่ง
we'd hide
ของ
from
แอ
the
บ
enemy.
บี้เราเล่นเสร็จเราต่อยเอลลี่ซะยับเลย แล้วก็บอกว่าอย่าเห็นหน้าแกอีกเป็นครั้งต่อไปอะไรเงี้ยแล้วทีนี้ภาพก็ตัดมาที่
That one doesn't have a number
เอลลี่อยู่กับ
It's too close to be 24:25.
ไอ้ดีน่าแล้วก็คลอดลูกแล้วโอ้โหอยู่กลางทุ่ง แล้วทอมมี่มันก็มาบอกว่าอ๋อเนี่ยรู้แล้วว่าแอบบี้มันอยู่ไหนมาไหมตอนแรกเอลลี่ก็เหมือนจะไม่เอาแต่ว่าทอมมี่ก็แบบก็เหมือนเอาคืนให้พี่ชายนะอะไรเงี้ยก็พอเข้าใจได้ก็ไปลุยต่อแล้วก็พอเหมือนแบบตอนกลางคืนมันก็แบบเหมือนตัวเอลลี่ก็เก็บข้าวเก็บของเตรียมลุยต่อแล้วภาพก็ตัดมาฝั่งแอบบี้ตรงนี้อันนี้คือเล่าแบบเร็ว
Weird graffiti.
Does that mean fireflies
No. Nothing I recognize, at least. 24 something 4. I'm gonna guess you're a 1.
ๆเมื่อวานแบบอิ่มๆเลยอะผมบอกเลยโคตรอิ่มอะแน่น
24:17. Getting warmer.
I hope not I'm sweating already
You're such a goober.
What
Nothing.
Hey something's up
มันเป็นคิกเกอร์มันต้องแบบเดินแบบกดคอนโทรลอ่ะลืมผมลืมถ้าไม่เดินแบบกดคอนโทรลคือมันมันจะได้ยินแม่งเอ้ยต้องใช้มีดพกไม่มีด้วยดิไม่งั้นก็อาจจะเอ้าโอ้ไอเด็กเวน
All quiet now.
Good.
คือเมื่อกี้เด็กมันติดเว้ย
Something's out there.
Yes, you did.
เอ้ยมันติดเด็กอะเมื่อกี้
Let's go back to finding that house.
24,
ไอเด็ก
25.
เวน
Attaboy.
What if we don't find them here?
Assuming all the leads dry up, what would you like to do?
พวกแรดเลอร์กำลังมาแล้ว ฉันไม่มีวันจะยอมให้พวกมันจับฉันไปเป็นทาส
Okay.
แอนดรูโลแกน
And
โอลิ
where would we
ก็
go?
กำลังไปหาลูกๆแล้วนะ
West. See what's out there.
It's nothing but ocean.
And past it?
Other countries, I guess. You want to do that?
Why not?
Good question.
I don't see any numbers.
Yeah. This has to be it. Good enough.
ไปอยู่โอเค
This place looks abandoned, like all the other houses.
Keep searching. Hmm. 24, 25 constants. This is the place.
ผู้อยู่อาศัย
Okay,
ปัจจุบัน
There's
2425
something here. We don't
Constant Avenue
Know that yet?
ซานตาบาบาราแคลิฟอร์เนียก็คือตอนนี้เราก็กำลังจะเดินทางไปซานตาบาบารานั่นเอง
Nada. Is it really nothing? It can't be.
ไม่มีอะไรเลย ว่างเปล่าจริง
Lev, I think we're done here.
No, wait. In
Huh?
here.
You find something?
ๆวิทางลับเหรอ มีการเลื่อน
Scratches.
Scooch. Hello?
Been a while since anyone's been here.
Unfortunately, I have to agree with you. Pretty nice barracks, all things considered.
สกิลที่เราอัพยังอยู่ แต่พวกปืนพวกอะไรเราไปหมดแล้ว เพราะว่า ไอกระเป๋าเราไง ที่เราหนีออกมาจากเกาะ
That's
เฮเว่น
the
น่ะ
shower, right?
ที่มาช่วยเด็กอ่ะ มันโดนไปแล้วไง
Guess they've got solar.
Oh.
โอ้ยมีแผนที่สบายเลย
Is this frequency currently in use? This is... Do you see a call sign anywhere?
Oh, what?
It's a short list of numbers and letters. Fuck it. This is Abby from Santa Barbara. Can anyone hear me? Standing by. Is anyone out there?
What's this?
Those are frequencies.
ความถี่นี่ไง
Is this frequency currently in use? This is Abby from Santa Barbara. Is anyone out there?
Are these other Firefly outposts?
I don't know. Can anyone hear me? Hello? Is this frequency currently in use? This is Abby from Santa Barbara. Hello? Hello? Is this frequency currently in use? Hello, this is Abby from Santa Barbara. Can anyone hear me? If anyone can hear me, please reply. Please answer.
Hi, Abby. We got a clear signal on you. Where in Santa Barbara you calling from?
2425 Constance. We got a tip about a base, but there's no one here. We're looking for fireflies. I'm a firefly.
Where were you stationed?
I was part of the Salt Lake outpost.
Who ran that facility?
Dr. Jerry Anderson. He was my dad.
Well, how about that? We pulled everyone back from the satellite stations and brought them back here to home base.
How many of you are there?
We're about 200 strong now.
โอ้
With a
โห
few more every month.
Owen was right.
โอ้โหเอาเรื่อง
You're about to get 2 more. How do we find you?
Get to Catalina Island. Approach the large domed building in Avalon. We'll find you.
Okay. Okay, we'll see you soon. Over and out.
Looking forward to it. Good luck, Abby from Santa Barbara. Over and out.
Come on, let's get back to the sailboat.
โอ้โหอยู่กัน200อ่ะโคตรแห่งกองกำลัง ใหญ่กว่าไอ้กลุ่มแนวร่วมที่เคยอยู่อีกมั้ง
You were
ใหญ่
right.
กว่าเยอะอะ องค์
What
กร
was
ไฟ
that?
ฟลายยังอยู่ครับ
Why do you make me repeat whenever I'm wrong?
Because it makes me feel better. And because it happens so rarely.
แอบบี้บอกมีความหวังแหละมีความหวังกับชีวิตใหม่แล้วได้กลับไปเจอ
This way.
ได้กลับไปเจอเพื่อนพวกพ้อง อ้าวเชี่ยใครวะ โอ้โหต่อยเด็ก
Ah! I'm feeling now. Fire up. Come here, let me see you. You ready?
Wait, what are you doing? Wait. Fuck, man!
You're fine. Get that little one.
Don't you fucking touch him!
คุณวิลลี่สวัสดีครับ
One hell of a catch, huh?
ได้พวกแก๊งนี่มันแก๊งอะไรฟ้า ก็ถือว่ายังมาทันครับ เพราะว่าเล่นตอนซีนต่อจากเมื่อคืนพอดี เดินสำรวจแถวนั้นแล้วก็ติดต่อวิทยุไง หาไฟฟลายพอเหมือนเจอพวกและกำลังเดินทางไปพอออกมาจากบ้านโดนไอ้แก๊งอะไรก็ไม่รู้ โดนแก๊งอะไรก็ไม่รู้ไล่หัวอยู่เมื่อกี้ ส่วนในฝั่งเอลลี่ก็เมื่อคืนเราก็รู้กันอยู่แล้วเนาะสรุป
Where did you go from here?
ไปต่อ
2425 Constance. Yeah, that's gotta be it.
เดี๋ยวได้ไปเจอกัน25 Constant สวัสดีครับ กลายเป็นว่าข้อมูลดีๆที่ฉันเอาปลาไปแลกมาเป็นของปลอม แม้ว่าจะเจอทางตันซ้ำแล้วซ้ำเล่า แต่ลางสังหรณ์ฉันบอกว่าพวกไฟร์ฟลายอยู่ที่ไหนสักแห่งในซานตาบาบาร่าฉันกำลังคิดอยู่เลยว่านายจะพูดอะไรถ้าได้ยินเข้า เงียบเลยนะ ว่าจะกลับไปอยู่ที่นอกเมืองสักหน่อยอวยพรให้ด้วยนะ ตอนที่นั่งข้างกองไฟกับเอฟคืนก่อน ฉันมองเกลียวขึ้นและก็คิดถึงนาย ฉันเล่ามุกตลกของนายให้เขาฟัง เรื่องสเก็ตบอร์ดคุณยายนะเขาหัวเราะหนักมากจนพ่นข้าวออกมาเลย ไม่เคยเห็นเขามีความสุขขนาดนี้เลย คิดถึงนายนะ นายน่าจะชอบที่นี่ไม่มีเมืองไม่มีคาราวานเล็กๆเดินทางขึ้นลงไปตามชายฝั่ง ใครๆก็บอกว่าซานตาบาบาร่าเป็นเมืองผีเหมือนกับสามเหลี่ยมเมืองบิลดาเลย แต่ฉันว่ามันสวยนะ วันก่อนฉันเห็นแมวน้ำด้วยแหละ มีลายจุดด้วยมันมีลายจุด ฉันสงสัยว่านายส่งมันมาเพื่อเย้ยๆฉันหรือเปล่า และไม่รู้ว่าใครเขียน
How would she get up to the street from here?
โอ้ ดูบรรยากาศนี้สิ นี่มันแคสเอาเวหรือเปล่า อยู่เกาะโลกล้างพร้อมกับลูกบอลหรือลูกวอลเลย์บอลนะผมลืมแล้ว ที่ติดอยู่ในเกาะคนเดียวอ่ะ เอาแล้วหนังดักแกอีกแล้วกู
This looks promising.
แล้วตั้งชื่อให้ลูกบอลใช่ ผมจำชื่อมันไม่ได้แล้ว ไอ้ลูกบอลมันชื่ออะไรนะ ไปได้สองทางเหรอ แล้วทางนี้คือทางอะไร ไม่มีอะไร
Here we go. Okay.
แล้วเราอยู่ส่วนไหนของซานตาบาบาร่าปะเนี่ย ผมว่าก็น่าจะใกล้ปะหรือเปล่า ไม่รู้นะ
Mesa
น่าจะอยู่
Bluff.
แถบๆกันนั่นแหละ
I'm here, and Santa Barbara proper is that way.
ลูกบอลชื่อวิลสันใช่นั่นแหละวิลสัน ในที่สุดก็มาถึงชายฝั่งจนได้ที่นี่สวยสุดๆเลยดอกไม้ขึ้นเต็มไปหมดแถมยังมีหมอกหนาทึบตอนเช้าด้วยดูเหมือนว่ากองทัพจะไม่เคยมาที่นี่นะอาจจะเป็นเพราะพื้นที่มันกว้างเกินไปฉันอยากให้ดีน่ามาเห็นที่นี่เธอต้องคลั่งแน่ๆฉันชอบฟังเสียงคลื่นจังเลยกำลังมุ่งหน้าไปที่ชายฝั่งไม่เจอคนมา2-3 วันแล้วไม่มีแม้แต่เรือที่ใช้ได้ถ้าทอมมี่คิดผิดล่ะถ้าพวกเขาไม่อยู่ที่นี่แล้วฉันจะคิดแบบนั้นไม่ได้ฉันออกมาได้แล้วฝูงพวกติดเชื้อตามนักเดินทางไปบางคนก็ไม่รอดมี2 ศพเป็นเด็กฉันฟังพวกเขายังอยู่ในชั้นใต้ดินบ้านนี่อยู่เลยฐานไฟฉายใกล้หมดความมืดจะทำให้ฉันบ้าฉันเห็นแต่เขาฉันได้กลิ่นเหล็กฉันคิดถึงดีน่าฉันคิดถึงเจ้าก้อนมันฝรั่งฉันมาทำอะไรที่นี่โอเคคิดถึงหลานเหรอมันอยู่ตรงนู้นตัวหนึ่งอ่ะขออนุญาตเดินมาเก็บของก่อนนะฉันรู้ฉันบอกคุณว่าจะรออยู่ที่นี่แต่มันไม่ปลอดภัยแล้วพวกแรดเลอร์อยู่เต็มป่าไปหมดอ๋อคือที่ซันตาบาราร่านี่คือเรียกไอ้พวกนี้ว่าเป็นพวกแรดเลอร์เหรอฉันจะไม่ยอมเสี่ยงโดนจับอีกแล้วน่าจะไม่ใช่แล้วฉันจะไปรอคุณที่คุณเคยเล่ามุกปิงปองให้คุณฟังเอาที่ฉันเคยเล่ามุกปิงปองให้คุณฟังฉันคิดถึงเสียงหัวเราะของคุณเหลือเกินบอกว่าคุณจะปลอดภัยอยู่ไหนแล้วอะแข่งขันโคตรรำคาญไอ้พวกสตอกเกอร์เลยนะอ๋อแต่ว่าเอลี่มันมีข้อดีอยู่อย่างหนึ่งคือเอลี่อ่ะสามารถไปจิ้มข้างหลังไอ้ตัวพวกนี้ได้เพราะว่าตัวเองมันมีมีดสั้นไงแต่ว่าแอบบี้อ่ะมันต้องคาร์ฟคือถ้าแอบบี้ไม่คาร์ฟมีดสั้นอ่ะมันจิ้มตัวนี้ไม่ได้นะเนี่ยแต่ว่าเอลลี่มันมีแบบมีดประจำตัวอยู่แล้วไงมันเลยเดินเข้าไปซวกได้ก็มีข้อดีก็มีจุดเด่นจุดด้อยต่างกันไปส่วนเอลลี่ก็มีธนูใช่ปะข้อเสียก็คือมันยิงช้าไม่เหมือนหน้าไม้แต่ว่ามันคราฟธนูได้แต่แอบบี้คราฟไม่ได้แอบบี้ต้องไปหาเก็บเอา ซึ่งตอนนี้ไม่ได้อะได้แล้ว
Hope I can cut through here.
ไม่มีแล้วนะCBB73ตัวใหม่สมอง40พลัง100อ่ะใส่บวกมันมีป่ะวะเนี่ยน่ามีเนาะไอตัวนั้นก็เป็นไอตัวที่วิ่งไปวิ่งมามั้งน่าจะเป็นตัวสตอกเกอร์
I swear to God, Abby, if these infected killed you. I gotta get out of here.
ตรวจก่อน1 2 3 4 5อันนี้คนทานเยอะกว่ามา กล้องคูณ6จัดไปสไนเปอร์อัพอะไรไม่ได้แหละโอเคไป ออกทางไหนทางนี้เหรอ
Where am I? There's gotta be a street around here. Okay. Santa Barbara's downhill. 24, 25 constants. She has to be down there.
โอ้โหอ๋อนู่น มันมาไม่รวมกันเลยดิ คือปลาแล้วมันไม่รวมกันนะดิประเด็นตายศพไปไหนแล้วเผื่อมีของไหมไม่มีโอเคอุ๊ยเอาชิปหายแล้วโอ้โหกูโดนกับดักโอ้โหแล้วก็โดนซวก
Abby, I found you. I found you.
See? We got a live one.
This bitch is fucked up. We'd be lucky if she lasts a month. Can we please just say we're done for the day?
Yeah. Yeah, get that thing down. Let's reset the traps.
Really, man? I mean, is she even worth the trip back? It's not like...
อ้าว
Hey, get you?
No. I'm good. Something funny?
Looks like you shit your pants.
Fuck you say?
Oh, bitch.
Oh, you like funny, huh? Get up.
Come on.
Get up.
We don't need
No,
this.
man, she's fucked up anyway, man. Come on. Yeah, it's funny, right? It's funny.
Serious?
Come on.
Wait. You said Abby. You're looking for an Abby, right? We picked one up a couple months ago.
Yeah, sure.
No, big girl. Blonde, arms like mine. She had a scrawny kid with cuts by his mouth. Yeah, that's her. You let me go. I'll tell you where she is. You can get to her before that infection takes over.
โทษทีฉันมีภูมิต้านทาน
Talk.
She's in a holding cell in our camp.
Where's that?
Head that way till you hit the railroad track. That'll lead you to a resort. We keep them in the tall, round building. Oh. I swear.
พบอาวุธทั้งหมด
Tracks to resort.
ปลดล็อก achievement
Tall, round building.
อุ้ย เราได้อาวุธใหม่
Tracks to resort.
มาว่ะ
Tall, round building.
เอลลี่เรารีเฟกไว
Fuck.
เอาเอา
We'll go back. Is that a gun? He's got a gun! God damn it.
Shit. All right.
Fuck did he get a gun? Tell the others to search the area. Make sure he's the only one that got out. Watch out for infected.
Yeah.
I find out anyone helped him. They're going in the fucking pool. Waste.
He was acting up for a while. This is the 3rd this month. You ready to put more people on the gate?
People on the gate need to do their fucking jobs. Go look around. I want to know he was alone.
Huh?
Stray! We got a stray! Over here!
เวนเอ้ยเฮ้ย ได้ลองปืนเก็บเสียงเลย อุ้ย ของดีเลยอะปืนเนี้ยผมบอกเลย
Oh, you're dead now! Fuck!
Got you.
ได้ของดีแล้ว
Big group. I better find her before these idiots kill her.
.ประเด็นคือเราจะยิงธนูแต่ว่าไม่โดนโคตรเศร้าโคตรดีจังไม่ต้องคราฟเองเต็ม2425 constant ไม่มีอะไรให้เก็บพยาบาลฟรีอะไรอ่ะโอ้สวยสวยสวยเป็นหมดแล้วเนาะเดี๋ยวผมมานะแป๊บหนึ่งโอเคต่อโอเคโอเคโอ้วิ่งเล่นไม่ได้เลยดิเราโอ้วิ่งเพลินๆไม่ได้เลย
Stray! We got a stray! Right over here!
โอ้โหมันไม่ตายว่ะ
Don't let her escape!
โอ้ยิงธนูมันไม่ตายเว้ย
She went back there! Lost her. Search this place. Track her down.
Right. What the hell?
She's killed Val! She can't have gone far. Mateo! That way!
She'll fuck up eventually.
มันอยู่ไหนอะอ๋อมันอยู่หลังรถ
Okay, okay.
อีกคนอยู่ไหนครับผมไม่เห็นจริงไอ้เนี่ย
All right, where are you?
1 2 3 4 5 6โอ้โหอันนี้มัน6อะดิ
Fuck. My side.
อันนี้6แล้วครับต่อได้ดิ
Where are the
ห
tracks?
รือยังไงดีอัพไปเลยก็ได้เนาะอัพเกรดไปเลยอัพเต็มไปเลยแล้วก็โอ้ very nice โอ้โหอยู่เมืองนี้เนี่ยมันอิ่มเอมด้านกระสุนจริงๆแชทไอเมืองซีแอตเทิลนี่มันยาจกกระสุนสุดๆยากจน โอ้อยู่เมืองนี้นี่มันร่ำรวยนั่นแน่ดูดินี่ใส่ได้ไหมใส่ไม่ได้แล้วเต็มหมดโอเคถ้ากระสุนเยอะก็แสดงว่าเจอกระสุนเยอะแสดงว่าเจอชาวแก๊งไงเราต้องไปตบกับชาวแก๊งไอ้พวกนี้ต่อเราสำรวจเสร็จแล้วเหรอต้องสำรวจไม่เสร็จนี่ขอกลับได้ไหมอ่ะโอ้โหผมรู้ว่ามันแค่ให้เปิดแล้วก็ไอ้นี่โอ้ไปต่อเลยเหรอโอเคไปต่อก็ได้ครับคือเรายังไม่ได้เดินเลยไอ้บ้านนี้เลยอ่ะแบบได้ไปดูที่อื่น
Shit.
อ๋อนี่ไงพวกคนที่โดนเกณฑ์เข้าไป
Oh God.
แต่เราก็ต้องเข้าไปใน
Looks
ด
like
ง
a tall round building. How do I get in there?
อย่าบอกนะว่าเราจะบอกนะว่าเราจะจบแบบมิดกับมิดคืออะไรนะศัตรูคือมิดเนี่ยแหละแต่ว่าเฮ้ยมีเหตุการณ์นี้แล้วเราก็ด้วยกันอะไรอย่างงี้ปะรอดจากไอ้พวกแก๊งนี้แล้วก็จับมือหรือเปล่าไม่รู้เดาว่าไงไอ้พวกแรดเลอร์ฉันแมคเคนซี่เองฉันออกมาแล้วฉันเป็นอิสระสามีของฉันต้องมาตายเพราะเก็บมะเขือเฮงซวยของพวกแกเราไม่ใช่พวกเล่ร่อนที่อยู่ลำพังฉันจะพาพวกฉันมาด้วยเตรียมนับวันตายได้เลยแล้วไปไหนต่อครับ
Hello.
โอ้ยแผลก็เจ็บ
Come on, you can do it. Just a little closer, buddy.
Leave him alone. He can't feel anything.
Fuck that. I promised him I'd do this to him. Bet you wish you didn't try to escape now, don't you, Anthony?
โอ้พวกมันมีเสื้อกันกระสุน
Good. Hey, hear that? I'll check it out.
Just watch yourself. Don't see anything. You?
I think it's all clear.
มุมนี้มันไม่ได้เลยวะมุมนี้โคตรแย่
Our company.
Stray! You got a stray! Over here!
God damn. That it? These are some sick fucks.
โอ้แน่นเดี๋ยวเราค่อยไปอัปเกรดตรงโต๊ะนะเดี๋ยวไปเก็บ 30ดูดิ ดูกระสุนซะก่อนโคตรลืม กล้องวัดระยะถ้าจะให้ดีต้องอัพง้างไวด้วยนะมาวะนี่แหละบายแล้วกล้องก็โอเคเราจะได้ซุ่มแล้วก็ส่องขนาดเล็งจะมีสัญลักษณ์เพิ่มขึ้นแสดงระยะที่แท้จริงของศูนย์เล็งต้องลองดูอะสปาร์คทรัคตัวอะไรไม่รู้เดี๋ยวนะแล้วไอ้ประตูเนี้ยไปไม่ได้ใช่ไหมโอเค
Okay.
ไม่น่ามีพวกติดเชื้อนะเพราะนี่มันเป็นฐานคนอะ
Tall round building. There it is.
ไหนขอลองเล็งหน่อยดิ
Fuck all these assholes.
อ๋อระยะที่แท้จริงไอ้จุดกลมๆนั่นน่ะเหรอนี่มันจับไอ้พวกนี้เป็นสัญญาณเตือนเหรอวะเนี่ย โอ้โคตรดีไปไหนแล้วอ่ะ
Back. I'll go see what's up.
Go. I'll watch your back.
It's Zach! Someone took him out!
There.
Answer me. God damn it.
Hey! It's Todd! He's fucking dead! We're coming for you!
ซ่อนอีกนานไหม
Coming up empty here.
Right here!
ขอเก็บกระสุนก่อนไหนวะ อ๋อ มันมีแบบปล่อยแล้วก็ให้มันไปไอ้นี่ด้วย ให้ไปล่อไล่กัด ยังมีอีกเหรอ โอ้โห โดนสไนเราขาระเบิดไปเลยแคท เอ้า
Run away!
เอ้าเชี่ยเอ้าดูว่าหมดแล้วโอ้โหสแกนแล้วมันไม่เห็นไงชีวิตเอ้าเชี่ยวไม่จบไม่สิ้นจริงพ่อหนุ่มเก็บไหมเกมหมดแล้วเฮ้ยนี่ไงเราได้ใช้พอดีเลยนี่เหรออย่างเยอะอะบอกเลยว่ารวยกระสุนน่ะโอเคมีอะไรแล้วนะได้
What happened? I don't know. It's gotta be a fucking stray. Shit.
Spread out! Guard the tower! We're under attack! Think it came from that direction!
We got something. Come with me. Let's check. I got your back. You see anything? Think so.
Jack! Behind the table!
เฮ้ยโดนแล้วได้ไงวะไปแล้ว
Got her trapped!
โอ้โหแม่งเอ้ยยิงขาไป
Almost there. Where are these fucking prisoners?
กดผิดจะฮิวโอ้โหเตายังไม่เปิดเลยยังไม่สุกกันดิไม่ได้หมดแล้วปะโอ้นี่ไงอุ้ยโอ้ยโดนแผลดิซ้ำแผลจกตาเข้าไปเรียบร้อย
Unlock the door.
Alright, come on, let's go.
Hey, where's Abby? She's bit.
Keep back.
Hey, don't put that fucking thing in me.
Hey! Abby tried to escape. She's down in the pillars.
The pillars?
Head down to the beach. You won't miss it. She's probably already dead. Come on!
Abby.
พักก่อนไหมได้ดวลกับแอบบี้แล้วอย่าสปอยคนอื่นสิครับพักก่อนไหมเจ็บแผลนะ
Head to the beach.
โอ้แล้วมันไปยิงกับอะไรวะนะเมื่อกี้แต่ชาวแก๊งที่มาสมทบอะไรเงี้ยเหรอแอบบี้อยู่ไหนจ้าไหนจ้าโอ้โหอะไรวะเนี่ยไอ้พวกนี้มันชอบจับมามัดงี้เหรอ
Abby?
Please.
โอ้สภาพดูไม่ได้ แล้วไอ้คนเมื่อกี้ผมนึกว่าใช่แอบบี้อะนะใช่เหรอนะคล้ายๆแต่ไม่ใช่ ตัดผมสั้นแล้วอุ้ยโดนดูดิแดดโดนแดดไม่เหลือเลยผมก็ล่องกระแล่งเลยอุ้ยน่าจะโดนมาหลายวันแล้วปะใช่ไหมโดนหลายวันแล้วมั้ง
Abby. I got you. I got you. They're both this way.
แป๊บหนึ่งนะผมนึกว่าคนนี้ดูดิ หรือว่ามันจบแบบเป็นเพื่อนกัน อย่างนี้เหรอที่เมื่อกี้มันก็ซ่วกก็ได้นะ หรือว่ามันยังไม่จบแบบว่าโอเครอดจากนี่แล้วไงรอดจากนี่เพื่อนกันตั้งหน่วยใหม่กลับไปแจ็คสันเงี้ยเหรอน่าตกใจอยู่ในสภาพบีนั่นแหละแล้วตัวเรามันก็ไม่ได้พร้อมที่จะบวกตอนนี้ด้วยนะสภาพเราก็ไม่ได้ต่างกันนะ
I can't let you leave.
I'm not doing this.
No.
I'm not gonna fight you.
Yes, you will.
He's not a part of this.
You made him a part of this.
Okay. Okay.
มันช่างขมขื่นเหลือเกิน โอ้โหแล้วเรามีมีดโอ้ปวดตับจริงๆโอ้โหโอ้โหไอุ้ยไปโดนโอ้ยโอ้ยเอ้ยจะจับอะไรโดนไงเมื่อกี้เรานิ้วขาดปะน่ะนิ้วขาดนะน่ะ
Just take him.
ไปไหนแล้วอ่ะของเรียบห้องเรายังอยู่หายไป2 นิ้วอ่ะดีดยากแล้วอ่ะดิมันมันจับบางคอร์ดไม่ได้ไงเพราะว่าบางคอร์ดมันต้องใช้ไงคือถ้าคอร์ดธรรมดาไอ้ที่ได้ยินเสียงปักปักปักอะคือ2 นิ้วมันกดไม่ได้
Hey.
What are you drinking?
Coffee.
Where'd you get that?
Those people that came through last week.
Oh.
A little embarrassed as to what I had to trade to get it, but it's not bad.
I had Seth under control.
Yeah, I know.
And you need to stop harassing Jesse about my patrols.
Okay. Dina. Is she your girlfriend?
No. No, that was just one kiss. It doesn't mean anything. She just, I don't know why she did that.
But you do like her.
So stupid.
I have no idea what that girl's intentions are, but I do know that she would be lucky to have you.
You're such an asshole.
I'm not trying to.
I was supposed to die in that hospital. My life would have fucking mattered. But you took that from me.
somehow the Lord gave me a second chance at that moment, I would do it all over again.
I don't think I can ever forgive you for that. But I would like to try.
I'd like that.
Okay. I'll see you around.
Yep.
Job.แจ่มจริงผมกดอะไรไม่ได้เลยเนี่ยกด EC ได้ไหมแล้วถ้ากลับไปดูหน้าไปดูหลังหรือไม่ผมไม่รู้ว่าผมจะข้ามดีไหมอ่ะมันจะมีคัตซีนต่อไหมอ่ะเพราะปกติถ้าเอ็นเครดิตมันต้องค่อยๆเลื่อนไปอย่างงี้ป่ะหรือไงเราดูไปก่อนแล้วกันนะก็คือแอปบีก็ไปเรียบร้อยอย่าได้เจอกันอีกเลยอะไรประมาณนี้กลับมาไม่เจอดีน่าน่าจะกลับไปอยู่ฐานปะกลับไปอยู่ฐาน จะมีอะไรท้ายเครดิตไหมอ่ะ ไม่มีนะ ไปเลยแล้วกัน ไม่รู้เหมือนกัน อ่ะแล้วไง เล่นโหมดเรื่องราวจนจบ อ๋อ เบื้องหลังการถ่ายทำด่านที่ถูกตัดออก เล่นด่านเวอร์ชันแรกๆที่ถูกตัดออกเพราะเกมระหว่างพัฒนา The Last of Us เวอร์ชันแรกด่านเหล่านี้อยู่ในสภาพ Pre-Alpha ที่พัฒนาจะไม่เสร็จและสามารถเลือกเปิดฟังบทวิจารณ์จากผู้พัฒนาได้ด้วย ไหนลองดูสิ ปาร์ตี้แจ็คสัน เอลลี่เข้าร่วมงานเลี้ยงในแจ็คสันด้วยใจที่กระวนกระวายด่านนี้อยู่ในสภาพ Pre-Alpha ที่พัฒนาไม่เสร็จ แสดงให้เห็นถึงสภาพสุดท้ายของด่านก่อนที่จะถูกตัดออกจากเกม ไปไหม ไปดิ
You're about to play an unfinished level from The Last of Us Part 2. The reason we added this section is there are a few sequences, and we picked the 3 of the best ones, that we cut from the game. You know, often we build a game that's much bigger than what ends up being the final product. They were months away from being finished, but we wanted to give you an insight of what it's like when we built the game, because often we have this whole thing constructed and it doesn't have final art or audio or dialogue. And here you get to see the building blocks of what it's like when we first string a bunch of these levels together. This is the intro to the first deleted level, and this one is the roughest of the 3. We wanted to show more of how Jackson operates. So this is the festival where Ellie ultimately kisses Dina. This sequence would have come very late in the game as a flashback sequence while you're in the farm with Dina. And we wanted to show what is the rest of Jackson doing, and wanted to put on the stick, make it interactive. So you could see when you're outside, there are all these almost like carnival games that you can play. You could mix drinks. You could play with these kids that are playing sort of clicker Marco Polo, sit down and listen to conversations. And all the different interactions were first or second pass, very, very early passes. The building blocks are there, but nothing is final. And ultimately, while we were very excited by this sequence, it's pretty fun and lighthearted. It just slowed things too much as we're barreling towards the end of the story at this point. So again, reminder, rough, missing audio, missing animation, missing gameplay tweaks, missing dialogue, but pretty representative of what it would have been. So enjoy.
ไม่มีเพลงไม่มีไดอะล็อกไม่มีอะไรเลย เอาละเรากลับมาสู่ Early Access.
Originally, this level was going to transition us to farm. We would go all the way through to the dance where Ellie and Dina share their first kiss. Then we would play through farm, and when Ellie plays the guitar at night, she would remember the Seth incident. So, the opening for this was a little tricky. We needed it to match at least a little what you might expect emotionally coming from prior beats, because we were already purposefully disorienting you in time and space. Remember, you just came from this huge fight. To jump straight into it would have been a little too jarring. After some back and forth, we rooted it in Ellie's nerves, calling back to her hands shaking in the theater. But this time, for a much more innocuous reason we'll find out later. She's nervous because she has a crush on Dina, who is the only reason why she's here at the dance. Something we really wanted to do was highlight the way their lives had turned upside down since she went down this path. we had this idea of recontextualizing all of our usual gameplay mechanics that were designed for really violent ends. The workbench, door bashes, throwable weapons, and even the infected, which is my personal favorite. Peppered throughout the level are moments of levity or shared history, all the while seeing how happy and mundane they all were before a huge revenge odyssey.
Oh. เพราะว่าฉากมันนานเกินไปกลับก็เลยตัดออกซะเลย อะไรนะ อ๋อสวมบทบาทก็คือก่อนที่เราจะเข้าไปเต้นรำมาแหละแต่ว่าเขาตัดตรงนี้ออกไงแล้วเปิดด้วยคัตซีนเลยอะไรอย่างงี้ไงได้ยินแต่เสียงนี่นะคือเดฟแกก็บอกกันนะว่ามันยังไม่เสร็จนะก็เดฟบอกว่ามันนานเกินไปอะไรเงี้ยแล้วเราอยู่ช่วงของท้ายๆเกมแล้วเขาก็เลยตัดตรงนี้ทิ้งแล้วก็เปิดด้วยเต้นเลยมันนานเกินไปอ่ะผมว่ามันก็นานเหรอนานมั้งนานก็ได้อ้าวแล้วแซงเด็กเวนแซงเด็กแอบบี้มันไม่มีน้ำ
We use our workbench a lot to make a lot of things that kill and maim and hurt people. Here, we had the silly idea of using the same feel, harkening back to the same animations, using the exact same UI to instead fix a drink. Like the workbench, you could pick your base and then you could add something to it. And at the time, we had some different reactions from Ellie based on how strong you chose to make the drink. Something we wanted to prototype though, before it got cut, was picking up some ingredients around to add, like a lime or maybe a bottle of someone's favorite whiskey or salt, like you were earning.
ทีเนี้ยเอลลี่ถูกพัดเข้าท่อน้ำของซีแอตเทิลด่านนี้อยู่ในสถานะเพีย
In this second deleted level, which is an extended sequence of the sewers in Seattle, this comes on the heels of where Ellie goes into a building and she survives an attack by stalkers and gets thrown out of the window and gets swept away by the current. And then we cut this section that used to be there in the final game. Now you will get to play it. So this was a way to get a bit more interesting puzzles, interesting traversal, figure out how Ellie can navigate the sewers with the fighting current. Ultimately, with a lot of these levels and these sequences, the reason why we cut them were for pacing purposes. But here it is for you in this very kind of raw form that part of it will feel finished, parts of it will feel like assets are missing as far as audio, animation won't be final. But it's a glimpse into what a game looks like when it's months away from finishing. Enjoy.
Get off of me!
ไอตอนที่เราจะไปโรงพยาบาลปะไอตอนที่เราจะไปโรงพยาบาลอะไปหานอร่าปะใช่ไหมวันที่2อะถ้าผมยังไม่ผิดนะ
Okay. Okay.
โอ้ยติด
Fuck, you. Okay. Where the hell am I?
This level, internally known as Find Nora, was quite long in duration as we had to make Ellie traverse a far distance to the opposite side of downtown Seattle. The sewer section was originally longer than what we released the game with, approximately 10 minutes more. This was one of the few areas of the game that used water flow as part of a traversal puzzle. The player has to go upstream to use the current to get to the platform to reach the other side. We mostly cut this mechanic game-wide, however it remained in essence in the section swimming to the aquarium as Ellie when you were avoiding the waves. When players reach the doorway and enter into the room, they're faced with a dead end. The real reason for this dead-end room is that on the reversal when exiting back out of the doorway, players are faced with the route onwards. A pipe that they'd not been able to see when they were swept past it on the way in, and something that was hidden from view when on the side platforms. The intention here being that the only option is to go off the standard path in order to search for a way out.
Get me the hell out of here.
Throughout the rest of the level, we also used light to indicate to the player that they were heading in the right direction. At each turn, however, we slowly introduced the player to consider climbing into smaller pipes and crouching in these tight spaces. This is to slowly build up to and encourage the player to climb into such a small pipe that they'd have to be... We love the idea of making Ellie prone through a tiny, dirty pipe in order to get out, as it was a great opportunity to use our prone mechanic. A unique camera setup was created to support crawling in these pipes, as the standard prone camera is much higher above the player. We also created custom collision in order for Ellie to manoeuvre in these tight spaces easily. Initially, the oblong collision capsule around her character caused issues crawling around corners. We put extra effort into the custom corner collision, so the movement experience is as smooth as the main game.
มันอยู่ช่วงระหว่างนานเกินไปเขาก็เลยตัดออกซะเลยเสียเวลาอะไรอย่างงี้เดฟบอกตัดออกดีกว่าขัดจังหวะการเล่น
Originally, we had the waterline much higher here, so players had to swim through this tight tunnel. However, from watching user test feedback, it was occasionally causing people to discount the route entirely and turn back on themselves. So to avoid any risk of this happening in the final game, we draw the player towards this pipe, as it is seemingly the route out of the tight space. Fairly soon, it is obvious that this path is blocked. If the player goes all the way up to the bars that block the path, they are rewarded with a pickup, so this journey doesn't feel wasted. It is important to encourage the player to try to progress along this path so that they would subtly be thinking of progress in this direction. We hint to the player that there is a bigger, new space beyond this pipe by showing the player the waterfall. This helps players consider the other route where they don't know how far the tunnel is or whether they'd make it.
แล้วก็จ้าเอ๋แล้วเราก็ซวกใช่ไหมแล้วมันจะมาเชดหลอนเป็นโจเหรอ
shit!
เอ๊ะทางคุณปะทางคุณหรือเปล่าอันนี้คือทางเดิมปะแล้วมันก็จะมีตัวเนี่ยโผล่มาออกจากกำแพง
This is the first time we get to see stalkers that are embedded into the walls. So this optional room is a nice little early extra that the player gets if they explore. We also use the pickups to lure players over to be close enough to trigger the stalker's attack. And this caused quite a few jump scares with user testers who played our game before its release. Using this pipe was retained in the iteration we shipped with, as it's the last of the extreme methods Ellie has to undergo in order to escape the sewers, and what she will go through in her pursuit of revenge. The last ladder climb is quite lengthy, and although we could have trimmed it down to a shorter climb, we liked how this last segment of the journey built anticipation for whether there was success at the top or not after all you've been through. Ultimately, the ladder exits out into the subway station, which is how it connects in the final game. Ellie then has to find her way to the hospital from here, crossing paths with the scars for the first time.
อันนี้มันเป็นแบบไปทางไปต่อแล้วไงก็คือตัดไอ้ตรงกระแสน้ำนู่นนี่นั่นออกนิดนึงอันนี้อะไรเอลลี่ตามรอยเลือดไปยังร้านขายของที่ถูกล้าง
For this third and final deleted level, what we call the boar hunt sequence, this was a sequence pretty late in the game. It was right after the whole Seattle Abby sequence where Abby spares Ellie. And then we wanted to come back into Ellie's story, but keep it a bit mysterious of how much time has passed, where is Ellie now? So we're coming in on Ellie and she's following a trail of blood. And we wanted to mirror in a way the deer hunt sequence from the first game, but this time do it with a boar. And there's something with Ellie that now she can't let go of this violence. She's pursuing it even against this innocent animal. This was another opportunity to show how the violence that Ellie has experienced, the violence that she witnessed being afflicted onto Joel, is still sticking with her. And she's still experiencing these PTSD moments. This was a sequence that was pretty far along and was cut pretty late in production. Parts of it are still really rough, but the gameplay, the building blocks were all there. I think you'll have fun to see, like, again, a rough, unfinished sequence that you can play. You can see all the way to the end, and including a cinematic that we end up cutting. And the remnants of the sequence ended up being mentioned in Ellie's journal. So this part of the story that we developed still made its way into the game as kind of optional stuff that you could read about, but here you get to experience it. So as a reminder, this is pretty rough. months away from being finished, but you get to see it now.
คือไอตอนที่มันล่ากระต่ายอ่ะจำได้ปะที่ถือกระต่ายกลับมาที่บอกว่าแบบล่านานกว่าที่คิดอะไรเงี้ย
Where are you?
การล่าหมูป่า
So the boar hunt was one of the hardest levels for me to work on. It was a huge challenge with the systems that we had, and we kept trying, but it never felt quite right. Originally, the level happened after the Jackson Festival, which also got cut, but before Farm. Once the festival got cut, it became... In early iterations of the fight, it was more arena-like. The player slowly whittles down the boar's health. Ellie gets more visceral and more vicious. We get a little worried about her. As the boar gets weaker, more panicked, more feral, and we start feeling sympathetic to the boar was the hope. In all of these iterations, especially of these wider areas, it required custom AI and scripting to make sure it continued to feel organic as an animal, but we really needed it to do specific stuff. It needed to be able to close distances really, really quickly. It needed to charge to attack, but we wanted the feeling of hunting, so we needed to track it down from afar. And we also needed to discourage the player from attacking the boar when it's that close, or it would kind of turn into this melee kerfuffle. How do we do this in our world while keeping the boar believable?
Got you. It's over. Nowhere to run. You're done.
PTSD อาร์ตคอนเซปต์อาร์ตอ๋อเอ้ยทำไมเหมือนไอ้นี่เลยอ่ะไอ้แบล็กวีโดว์อ่ะ ไอ้มันมีอยู่เรื่องหนึ่งอะไรนะ ที่มันเป็นน้องหรืออะไรสักอย่างที่มันต่อสู้เหมือนแบล็กวีโดว์อ่ะไอ้เป็นซีรีส์ปะผมจำชื่อไม่ได้ชุดคล้ายๆเลยนี่อะไรแอบบี้เหรอพี่ โอ้โหจี๊ดจัดอะเบื้องหลังการถ่ายทำเทรลเลอร์เปิดตัวโหสมจริงเบื้องหลังการพัฒนา
Okay. Thank you all for what is about to be a very long presentation. So Anthony and I ran some numbers, and to our best guess, The Last of Us Part 2 is 10 to 30% longer than Last of Us Part 1. However, this is the most detailed story presentation we've ever done. Like, if you think about the presentation for T1, where we kind of talk about the quarantine zone in somewhat detail, even though most of it changed, and then it's like, and here are some things that might happen with Joel and Ellie. They might go into a spore-filled subway tunnel. They might fight some cannibals. At some point, Joel will get incapacitated, and Ellie, this has everything figured out.
ขอบคุณทุกคนที่นั่งในนี้ที่
Every
ทำเกม
character is
เก่ง
accounted
ๆ
for,
มา
every
ให้เราเล่น
cinematic
ครับ
is accounted for in this presentation,
ตบมือ
which
แชท
means it's going
ต
to
บมือ
feel twice as long as the first game. So when you freak out, that's normal. That's part of this. Oh, this is about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So hopefully you got your pee break. Okay. So we open on 15-year-old Ellie. This is a few weeks after the events of the first game. There's a doorway leading down to this basement, and Ellie sees Tommy, and he's just finished climbing out of this basement, and he's hurt bad, and he's rambling about something, needing to go after these people. Ellie's trying to ask him what happened, where's Joel, and he doesn't make any sense to her, and she starts to go downstairs. Tommy grabs her hand and tries to stop her, but he's too weak. She rips her arm away, and she heads down. And with each step, her heart races faster and faster as she sees this trail of blood. She opens the door, revealing Joel's mutilated body. And then shock just sets in, screams, and tries to grab his body. Nina comes and rips her away, and on that cacophony of sounds, silence.
เดฟบอก
Oh, we're just getting started.
ผู้กำกับมึงเอาตัวละครกูมาทุบเล่น Uncharted ก็สนุกนะผมเล่นแล้ว
I've been working on this game since we finished. Well, really, been thinking about it since we finished The Last of Us.
So many people were like, Last of Us 1 is so perfect. It should never have a sequel. They shouldn't make a sequel.
They're like, oh, it wrapped up super great. But I think actually, if you look at the ending,
swear to me that everything that you've said about the Fireflies is true.
Ellie is accepting a lie.
I swear.
Okay. She has a very good bullshit detector. She knows something doesn't feel right, but I think is too scared at that point to ask.
How long can you really live with accepting a lie like that?
The Last of Us feels like an origin story for this survivor in this post-apocalyptic world. Seeing like how Ellie has become such a strong, unique character, it really felt like, you know, if we were to do a sequel, it'd be a shame for it not to focus on her.
Move the fuck out of the way.
Yeah, once we're done with this whole thing, I'm gonna teach you how to play guitar. I reckon you'd really like that.
อันนี้น่าจะภาพตอนแบบยังเป็นเพย์อยู่นะเป็น PlayStation เนี่ยผมได้เล่นเวอร์ชันเนี้ย
That's just this
ที่
like
ไม่ใช่
unanswered
Remastered
promise that like was kind of lingering at the end of the first game.
แต่ว่าตอนนั้นภาพก็ถือว่าสวยมากแล้วนะ
Where we had the actors come on
มี
stage
อะไรนะผม
and
จำไม่ได้แล้ว
reenact
มันลง
certain
PS3
scenes.
ป่ะหรืออะไรนั่นแหละผมจำ
They
ไม่ได้
say
แล้ว
we get you to the Fireflies. What happens next?
Marlene, she said that they have their own little quarantine zone and that doctors are still trying to find a cure.
I wrote this new scene that takes place after the ending of The Last of Us, but it was only shown to people in the audience. Like, we cut off the stream right before we showed them the scene.
If I ever were to lose you, I'd surely lose myself. Try and sometimes you'll succeed. to make this man of me. Our future days of you.
ภาพก่อนภาคีสีสดมากอันนั้นคือยังแบบเวอร์ชั่นไม่รีมาสเตอร์นะผมก็ไม่รู้ว่ารีมาสเตอร์มันจะสวยขนาดไหนแต่ว่าก็คงสวยแหละเข้ากับปัจจุบัน
That scene ends with Ellie holding the guitar and playing one note.
มีละครเวทีเลยเหรอ
And that image was so strong in my mind that I'm sure that kind of trickled into this idea of this trailer. So I started working on some concept art, kept fleshing out the story. And as it felt like it was kind of gaining momentum, Uncharted 4 needed all hands on deck.
Naughty Dog had always made one game, and as soon as it finishes one game, it works on another. When I started on Uncharted 3, we were starting to experiment then with trying to do 2 teams. After we finished Uncharted 3, I jumped onto Uncharted 4. At some point in time, Uncharted 4 was coming down to the wire, and it's just, we had to shift resources, and pretty much everyone just ended up on Uncharted, trying to finish it.
Uncharted ก็ต้องทำ The Last of Us 2 ก็ต้องทำ
I come on like in full force on Uncharted 4. I just want to capture this trailer.
I'm blind to it all. Said I walk beside the still waters and they restore my soul, but I can't walk on the path of the right, 'cause I'm wrong.
During the entire production of Uncharted 4, that's all I could think about. I had a lot of investment in Uncharted 4, but the day we were done with Uncharted 4, I went right back to that trailer to wrap it up. Anything for this shot that's still happening?
Not animation.
Of the shadow of death.
This one feels kind of strong to me. Drawing a lot of attention. Can we tone that down?
Yep.
Actually, my biggest fear with this announcement is that it leaks early. More than anything, I have nightmares about this trailer leaking early before we get to PSX.
Ow.
If we're gonna surprise people, PSX, the PlayStation Experience, hasn't set itself up yet as a place where big titles get revealed. That's E3.
ไปย้อนดูได้ใน YouTube นะครับทุกคน
We're revealing the Uncharted single-player content at the opening of the show.
You're late. I thought you were professional.
Oh, you should relax. You'll live longer.
No one's going to expect a second Naughty Dog title to be revealed in the same press conference.
Please welcome to the stage, Sean Layden.
There's one more special unveil we have for you tonight. Please enjoy it.
When we first revealed The Last of Us, the Naughty Dog logo came up.
ทุกคนก็โห่ร้อง
erupted, and it was such
แน่
a
นอน
high
เมื่อเห็นภาพนี้
that's almost been like chasing the dragon, like wanting to recapture that feeling.
Why does this look like the Last of Us 2?
Playing it at this surprising moment, I'm hopeful it will have a similar feel.
What are you doing, kiddo?
people outside the studio have such an attachment to the first game, and I've definitely seen fears about not wanting to make a sequel because somehow if it's bad, it will tarnish your feeling about the first game.
I'm gonna find. And I'm gonna kill. Every last one of them.
We're doubling down on those fears and not calling it The Last of Us some subtitle. It's The Last of Us Part 2 to say it's all one story.
The concept for the sequel had
to feel compelling enough, have enough weight that felt like, okay, this is an experience worth creating, worth spending the next 3 years on. I became really intrigued with the idea of the cycle of violence and how like certain events would trigger acts of violence that then would beget more acts of violence.
It's almost never satisfying. It never brings the person you love back. And despite you thinking it's going to bring some closure, it doesn't.
We just need more empathy. Wouldn't it be awesome if we could create an experience that lets you safely explore those feelings? With that theme, all of a sudden everything fell into place and this outline emerged. The whole catalyst for what starts the second game is Joel killing the doctor. That feeds right back in that idea of that cycle of violence. Now it sets up this whole kind of sequence of events. We're gonna start the game where you're playing a new character. That sequence ends with this character killing Joel. And we really have to paint her as this monster. Then when you play the next chunk of the game and you're Ellie and you're gonna pursue justice, quote unquote, and you're gonna go kill this entire crew, we're gonna go back in time and show you that same sequence of events, this character that you saw as a monster, to now get you to see things from her perspective. And how this crew is a bunch of people trying to survive in this world. And they had their reasons for pursuing and finding Joel and killing him. And the story was becoming very epic and ambitious. And I had a few parts that I was kind of stuck on. And I felt like to kind of shake things up, I wanted to bring in another writer.
I thought it was a very thoughtful story about violence and obsession. He had Abby, sort of like this girl who was the daughter of the doctor. And that Ellie would go on this vengeance quest. And when he was like, and then Ellie actually kills Abby, I was like, what? You're gonna... Yeah, let's fucking do it.
Not only is she contributing in a lot of ways, I feel like she's challenging what this story can be. She's wanted to add more romantic intimacy between the characters. Those are areas that I've been, I don't know, more uncomfortable writing that stuff. After the first day, she was telling me that she went home and told her husband that I think I just got Ellie's girlfriend pregnant, because that was her big idea the first day, and that had this trickle-on effect and actually added a lot to the story.
Ellie is this very relatable character. I thought she was a perfect vehicle to challenge this notion that violence doesn't have a cost, because it does have a cost in reality. It's going to ruin this girl. You know, people love Joel and Ellie, and we are about to kill one and make the other one a villain.
I was very nervous telling Troy we're gonna kill off Joel. In the first game, he was advocating that Joel should die.
When I read the ending to part 1, I was like, you're gonna piss a lot of people
แสดง
off.
โจ
Let me go.
Marlene is the closest thing to a parent that Ellie has had outside of Joel.
You just come after her.
A lot of people got hurt, and Marlene would be one of those people.
Joel has crossed these moral lines, and therefore he deserves to die, and he thought it might be a more dramatic ending. And I was like, no, you're crazy. Like, but then in the second game, that's why I was like, thought like, oh, he would take it pretty easily.
He goes, so Joel dies, and he's like, so this happens, and then and I literally had to stop him. I was like, can you give me just a second? Because it literally was as if someone was telling me about how my friend had just died.
I think he kind of took it hard. It was like the character meant so much to him. We're gonna kill off this character. His role is gonna be much smaller on this one.
All of a sudden, it was, please don't take this from me yet.
Ellie is scared to be alone. Everybody that she's loved up until that point, she's lost them.
It's hard to imagine the story without Joel dying. Like, you feel that hate, Ellie feels that hate. You're one-to-one, you're on the stick, and that informs the rest of the story.
This way, come on!
You okay?
Yeah.
We get you through interactivity to really connect and empathize with this character.
Y'all act like you heard of us or something.
And then make you feel like I've led Joel to a trap.
When we started out making Last of Us Part 2, Neil actually wanted to be very ambitious about changing the game almost entirely. In the first, like, 4 or 5 months, the game was actually kind of an open world, inspired by Bloodborne.
เมื่อไหร่จะเอามาลง PC ครับบัตรบอลน่ะเร็ว
And like it was purely melee focused, like it was all hand-to-hand combat.
It wasn't just the melee combat, we were also looking at sort of layout structure. Bloodborne had a very sort of an open space that sort of kept getting bigger and bigger as you explored. I really like that feeling that you get of mastery over the world. It starts to become kind of almost a character in the game itself.
โซไลท์นะครับทุกคน
And so that was also something we were
ก็อยู่
looking
ในต
at.
ระกูลพวก Dark Soul อะไรพวกนี้แหละ
We started out making it as different as humanly possible from the first game as we could, and then kind of dialing it back. The open world thing didn't work with the story that we were trying to tell and stuff.
So in pre-production, we spent a lot of time just doing setups. Self-contained sort of units that tried to expound on a single sort of idea. Trying to start out with sort of simple shapes and building up to more complex shapes, and starting out with 1 or 2 mechanics and building up to those mechanics.
Hey!
Even our experiments, we try to add like as much context as we can. Like we establish a goal that you're going to be going for. We establish beats so that there's like an emotional journey, the stakes are raised. Figuring out some traversal stuff, a lot of climbing and balance beams and seeing how far we can sort of push in that direction without it getting over the top like Uncharted.
More sort of verticality, more use of grass and stealth.
My name is Arnaldo Lisea.
And what do you do here?
I do design.
I know. How long have you been doing that?
A day. I got an opportunity to work in QA, and that was a great learning experience. I shipped The Last of Us and Uncharted 4.
The thing I'm proudest of is the people who came in
to a quality assurance job as a contractor, which is entry-level work, and used that job to get to where they ultimately wanted to be.
When I interviewed for the QA position, I specifically said that my goal was to be a designer.
He had formed this relationship with design where they knew they could rely on him, spending his free time designing a demo, and at the same time, him going to them and not being like, here's 50 bugs you need to fix. He went to them and was like, what do you need? How do I help you? What kind of bugs do you need? And for their part, they embraced him and were like, why don't we show you how to lay out nav mesh?
I am anxious to prove myself. There is no babying when you start. It just hits the ground running. If I don't cut it, I go back to QA or find something else. We're trying to figure out at the moment how we handle big spaces, bigger than the first game.
The enemies are too spread out to be really considered like one single small encounter. And seeing what behaviors we need to start developing for
ดี
them
น่า
to make it
ไม่
look good.
หัวไปไหน โอ้
The opening of Seattle, that whole section was pretty slow and quite linear in the level design.
Let's assume that there's guys in this building, someone's starting to shoot at me from the second floor. So, okay, if I'm on the horse and I'm getting shot at, I can't take cover with the horse, or probably first thing I'm going to do is jump off. And that's slow and clumsy, and maybe we can make that faster. It's like, but once I jump off, I'm going to want to take cover behind something. It's like, okay, I'm taking cover. Now what the fuck do I do with this horse? I assume the enemies are going to shoot at it. If they don't, that's kind of weird. Does Dina ride off with the horse to help it stay safe? Well, that sucks because I'm trying to build a relationship with Dina, and if my partner leaves me, that makes me like her less. I'm like, okay, so Dina has to get off the horse and take cover with me and help me engage with the enemies. Okay, but the horse is still there, so what happens with this horse? Does it ride off on its own in order to like protect itself and then come back after? That feels too intelligent for a horse. That seems a little funny. As soon as there's range
คลิ
combat,
ปแต่ละ
the
ฉาก
horse
นี่
kinda
แม่ง
makes it
ปวดตับ
fall
นะ
apart. What if we did this whole sequence on foot? How do I approach this building? Imagine this is more dense with cars and ferns and interesting ways for me to close this distance. Maybe when I get close enough, two militia guys come out. I have this little firefight with this front before I could rush forward and go into this building, climb up, and take out the sharpshooter that was harassing me. Really simple, small fight. Now there's tension. Guys can come from anywhere, like from this rooftop, from these windows.
And that really inspired us to take some pretty drastic changes as far as the flow, inserting more combat, opening up the layout to give the player more options as far as how they explore the city.
You can imagine this as being kind of the hub with it poking into streets, and I could go into the streets and explore and find those
อ๋อ อันนี้เป็นฉากแรก
locations
ที่
where we're kind
เปิด
of
Open
calling
World เลยไง
dungeons.
ที่เรามี
So
แผ
that's
น
the
ที่
plan.
แรกๆอะแล้วเราก็
Some
ไป
of these
ตาม
stages
จุ
are
ดอะ
big, but it got us
แล้วมาร์
excited.
ก
This
วง
feels
ๆไว้
like a
อะ
true evolution of T1 as far as going more systemic and giving you options.
If there's concern, it's about scale, it's about scope, it's about can we actually build this thing?
The scope is always bigger than the last game. It always has been. It always will be, probably. But this scope on this game is something pretty extraordinary.
Everyone seems to agree that the thing we're building is going to be cool. Once it's done, it's just that it's such a big game.
Our games have become more and more ambitious, and the studio has gotten a lot bigger.
When I started here, we were 40 people. Now we're over 300. You can't handle that many people with a flat hierarchy. As we grew, we've had to introduce new titles just to control management, control communication, make sure things don't fall through the cracks.
We have no producers at Naughty Dog.
There's so many talented people here that you can rely on and lean on. It makes the game better. And that's really kind of the secret sauce of Naughty Dog, is how collaborative it is.
You find the right people who really want to do the best they can possibly do, and then you kind of give them the resources to try. You're getting what you asked for as a creative person, right? You're kind of getting the freedom to go as far as you can go, but sometimes I think we need to be saved from ourselves a little bit.
With The Last of Us 2, there's a real sense of opportunity. This is going to be a much cleaner production than we've done in the past. We're going to get it right this time.
This is the first project that has had the proper pre-production period where we have locked down, for the most part, the story beginning, middle, and end before we started production. That hasn't happened. I don't know if that has ever happened, now that I think about it.
It's a very, very messy process, which is, again, why it's a lot of times really difficult to schedule. I think right now we are planning on springtime of 2018. So when springtime of 2018 comes around, The Last of Us 2 isn't in stores, you can look back at this and say, well, I guess their plan wasn't exactly set in stone.
Historically, we've done very poorly at being efficient without the pressure of an external deadline.
Every time we have some showing of our games, if it's going to be seen publicly, it's got to be one of the best looking playing things in the industry. For example, the first trailer was coming online, and that forced us to define the look of our game, define the location of where the game takes place, define Ellie's look and her age and her hair and her outfit. We're forced to make those choices. We can't just keep iterating because there's a deadline.
We want to try and schedule the game using these milestones as soon as possible.
Which means we got to keep the marketing rolling, which means next E3, 6 months away, we need to look at a gameplay demo.
E3 ผมจำได้ว่างาน E3 มันไม่มีแล้วปะในตอนนี้นะถ้าผมจะไม่ผิดว่าน่าจะไม่จัดอีกแล้วปะตอนนี้ก็จะเป็นแบบ
We need to figure out the gameplay is, because right now it's just we've got a bunch of like cool prototypes and stuff like that, so it's scary, but we work well under pressure.
ถ้าผมจะไม่ผิด
We're
นะ
hoping to
เมื่อ
be
ก่อนมัน
really
จะมี
aggressive and show at
ตลอด
E3
ถูกปะ
2017 just to really kick the project into gear as fast as humanly possible.
เสียดายเหมือนกันนะงาน
We
งาน
want to
เกม
break it
ใหญ่
up
ๆอะไรเงี้ย
into a roughly 2-minute cinematic, a flashback sequence that will set kind of emotional context for what will then go into a 5-minute gameplay sequence. We want to do this festival within Jackson. Like there'll be like a live band and we're just seeing people lively having fun.
เกมต่อไปเล่นอะไรแชท
30 plus people.
Frank says we could do a 30 variation. I think we can make that work with 30.
Yeah.
คอนทันคอนเทนต์ใหม่มาอีกทีตอนไหน
Ellie onto the dance floor. Ellie's dancing with her, is making all these guys jealous, and then Dina says, "You want to make them really jealous?" And she leans over and kisses her. And on that, we do a hard cut to Ellie in the middle of the woods. So the idea is we shouldn't see any buildings, just woods, water, ankle-deep water rushing underneath her.
What about rain? Are we still doing rain?
I haven't discussed it with the other guys, but.
That demo that we show externally for the very first time is
ต้องมา
setting
นั่ง
the
คิดว่า
bar
ทำเกมต่อ
for
ไปเล่นอะไรใช่ เพ
the
ราะว่ามัน
rest
จบแล้ว
of development. But the problem is we're also working on
มอนทัน
Lost Legacy.
มีอัปเดตอีกที
So E3
ตอนไหนนะครับ
June 13th, which means probably
ไม่ได้ตามแล้วอะ
like 2 weeks before that, which is 4.5 months from now.
With Lost Legacy shipping at around the same time of E3, there are shared resources between the two projects.
Especially sound and particle effects, so they were all on Uncharted.
When it comes to the polish phase, both we're polishing this and that at the same and SPDLC at the same time. I don't think there's any specific item that needs to be worked on, but I think there's going to be
แล้ว
programmer time.
ออนตัวต่อไปที่เข้ามาเป็นตัวอะไรอะมีใครรู้ไหม
Like this needs polishing in E3 and this needs polishing in SPDLC, and like we're gonna have to compromise the times maybe.
We kind of just didn't have it at the forefront of our minds that yeah, they're freaking shipping a video game. It's literally the hardest part of making the game is shipping it. And we were trying to ship a demo, the second hardest thing you can do, at the same time and sharing a lot of their resources.
So one thing would be helpful is to find out what are the items that you feel like you're most worried about. Like let's say rain. We could do this thing without rain. So if that helps you a ton, we can make the decision now to remove rain.
It would definitely help.
How about wet hair? Well, if she's going to be swimming, then we can get around that, right?
How about no swimming?
Puts on a cap.
If her hair.
I got like a really clear energy of the meeting, which was how do we shrink it? It was such an impossible task. You can't help but start feeling some doubt some anxiety about the leadership, not understanding the logic of it. I think like anybody else here, I was definitely ready to roll up my sleeves and figure it out.
Alright guys, we're gonna try to keep this pretty short. So after yesterday's meeting, there was a lot of side conversations, and there was sort of a sentiment about how much work there was to get not only this demo done to ship the Lost Legacy, and it matched up with feelings that we were having. So we started discussing the responsibility of actually attempting this, and started to feel that it was a little bit irresponsible. That if we were to try to meet both these deadlines, we could probably do it, but we would end up doing a lesser job on both projects, both deadlines, than we would if we were doing them individually. And feels like they're both important enough to give them the due attention. So the conclusion that definitely is there is that the demo that was discussed yesterday will not be presented at E3.
Does it mean that our main point should be just focusing on more shipping before?
The Lost Legacy?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, but I mean, we should still try to. We don't
คือประเด็นโจทย์ของอันเนี้ยตอนเนี้ย
work on
ใน
this
งาน
and
ในปีนั้นนะมันดัน
all hands on deck on
มันดันเปิด
Lost Legacy.
อันชาร์เต็ดมาแล้วก็เดอะลาสเนี่ย
just to give us a buffer, so there are these two
งาน
deadlines
งอก
It's just now we have more time to work on this demo
โอ้
properly without
เยอะ
pressure.
เกินนะดิ
Once that meeting happened, it was just like, right, of course. I'm not in the Twilight Zone. It makes sense not to do this. It felt really nice seeing the leadership kind of having the team's back and seeing the logic of the situation in front of them.
That's it. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Okay, so are you pissed off?
Am I pissed off? No. What am I? I guess in one sense it's relieved, because there was concern of whether we could hit the quality that we know we need to hit for both Lost Legacies and for what was going to be our E3 demo. And then on the other hand, it's kind of disappointed, because I was excited to get this demo done and get it out there and get the reaction, but now it's going to have to happen at some other point.
What we've decided to do is deliver the demo at around the same time, but that's going to be purely internal, and the demo won't be 100% shippable. Gameplay and design and animation are going to be locked in June. Then we back off, we finish Lost Legacy, and then resources free up to finish the particle effects, the lighting, and the sound. And then we ship just the glossiest, best looking demo you've ever seen. We burn that to a disc at the beginning of January, and then we don't touch it again. And nobody sees it until E3. It's going to be really interesting to see if we can really commit to being done, 5 months, 6 months in advance of E3, and not be tempted to say it could be a little better, let's go back.
People are just chatting. I'm writing stuff.
And we really just need to have the discipline not to do that.
But that then left us as okay, what's our next marketing beat? What are we going to show next from this game?
So now we have a new plan where we're going to release a cinematic around PSX time. I think we're going to do it at the Paris Game Show.
This seemed like a pretty intriguing scene to introduce Abby. That whole scene is going to be our next marketing beat. And then we're not going to say much about it, about how this fits into the game, where it fits into the game. Abby evolved over time, and if you look at the concept art, the character looked very different than where we've ended up. I don't remember at what point we decided to go with someone really kind of muscular and broad, but I remember once the idea came up, it felt very fresh.
Once we sort of nailed down the body of Abby,
แต่ผมชอบรูป
we
ลัก
played
ษณ์แบบ
around
เมื่อ
with
กี้
different
นะ
ideas
ไอ้
of how
ที่
we wanted
แอลลี่
to
เลือด
accentuate
ออกปาก
her
อะ
arms
ผ
or
ม
not.
ยาวๆอะ
And there's something interesting in Abby feeling a lot like Joel.
So when I got cast, Neil was like joking around, and he's like, "You should probably beef up."
อันนี้คือคนแสดงแอบบี้
Yeah, it's mocap, whatever. And he goes, "No, really, you should probably beef up to player." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, you're right. I should totally start deadlifting as much as possible." So I did, and I was training like crazy, and then I got pregnant. What are you gonna do?
We need to separate her from Ellie. It shouldn't feel like I'm playing a reskinned Ellie, that Abby should, in many ways, look, behave, fight differently. So in gameplay, we've discussed, well, she needs to have different upgrade trees. It means we have to make the investment of capturing a whole different moveset for Abby. We can't just remap Ellie's animation onto Abby.
Holy fuck.
Abby has a fear of height, and there's stuff we're doing with the camera to make you feel vertigo. And that helps build empathy. It makes this character real.
We let you both live, and you wasted it.
She's aesthetically a very intriguing and iconic and powerful character.
Abby, who are these kids? They saved my life. Can you take a look at her?
Once she's killed Joel, what is Abby's motivation? What is she trying to achieve? Her redemption is really taking care of Yara and Lev, these two kids that are from a warring faction.
You know, she has been taught to hate them. There is an inherent xenophobic reaction to them. It's about saying, can you come to love your enemy?
Scars built all this?
Seraphites.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
These are kids that grew up in a very different context as Ellie, and, you know, how they live their lives and experience the world is totally different.
Got you a present.
I'm getting really attached to Lev. He's been able to keep his head up despite losing so much himself in a world that is so harsh.
We're taking too long. Can't move any faster. I won't do your sister any good if we're both dead.
I really like his dynamic with Abby. Her having this, like, fucking brassy little sidekick who calls her on her shit in a way that nobody else can.
What's going on between you and your friend Owen?
Oh my God, Lev, now?
It seemed really awkward.
Just go!
Who understands the sort of sense of being orphaned in the way that a lot of people can't.
How long have you two been on the run for?
2 days.
What the hell did you do?
I shaved my head.
They want to kill a little boy because he shaved his head.
I am not trans, so it's a very delicate thing to tell a story of an experience that I've not had. And that's something that we want to take seriously.
Did you hear what they called me?
Yeah.
Do you want to ask me about it?
Do you want me to ask you about it?
No.
Okay.
It's really about trying to create a multifaceted character who is trans, and that is absolutely an important part of who he is, but also a part of who he is, not the whole of who he is.
As far as the Paris cutscene, I'm pretty stressed out. We have 13 days, less than 2 weeks to finish this thing, and there are still some big ticket items. Lost Legacy turned out to be a much bigger project than we originally envisioned, but now that it's done, everyone is now on board.
We've got the Greenlight demo done.
She's putting on quite the show.
It's very real. We're in full production now, so I guess that's the short of it, is we're in full production now.
Hey everybody, PlayStation's live at Paris Games Week 2017. We've got a huge show for you starting now.
Wow, what a great way to open Paris Games Week. Let's have the first in-depth look at a much anticipated and exclusive title.
Last of Us 2. Last of Us 2. Please, please. Please be Last of Us 2.
Our fans, they want to know every last thing about what's going to be in this game.
Is this The Last of Us?
Neil has taken the way, he kind of creates an arc or like this sense of drama, this kind of sense of mystery or like dramatic tension, and crazily has brought it to marketing.
I view marketing as part of the game. It's very calculated what we put out there and how we want you to connect different marketing assets. When we first released the teaser trailer, too many people right off the bat said Joel is dead.
The blown out light really fucked us in a way I don't think any of us saw coming.
We actually underestimated our audience a little bit. They're so sophisticated now, so you have to get more sophisticated, like how am I still gonna surprise players and viewers?
You start on characters you've never seen before in a world that like could be The Last of Us, could be anything. That creates like a really, really cool sense of tension.
At no point are we gonna market that you play as this other character.
What is this? Oh, that looks good though.
I was so excited about working on it and I couldn't say anything. It was so rough.
Oh, is she gonna cut a baby out of her belly?
And then Tread 4, you find a comic book that shows Ellie's mom pregnant. So people already had theories that Last of Us Part 2 was gonna have Ellie's mom. Oh, if we just kind of black out the letters, she has the same number of letters as Anna, Ellie's mom's name, we'll get people to think this is Ellie's mom.
Oh my God. Girl's got a good... That hammer's from the Outbreak poster.
So we had that poster with the forearm of a character you've never seen before, with this like kind of wolf's head in the background. What does that mean? Kind of like prompting this mystery.
You want people to feel like they figured everything out and then have the story surprise them.
Man, if this is The Last of Us 2, bro, I'm gonna go crazy. Oh my God. Oh my God. Last of Us 2?
Yes! Yes! Yes, bitch! Yes! I fucking knew it!
Everything that we put out there is shaping expectation. And then the final game, hopefully, if we do our job right, should subvert those expectations in an interesting way. We knew we were pushing boundaries with that cinematic. We are making a violent game. We're not going to shy away from how violent it is. It is part of what we're trying to say. And I thought it was a great discussion initially about what is the appropriate level of violence. When is something so violent that it just turns you off where you just don't want to experience it at all? I like that they were wrestling with those things. I didn't like some of the insinuations about the trailer being misogynistic towards the female characters.
I don't think this story ever glorifies violence against women. There's no bias towards women or men. It just so happens that the two protagonists of this story are female, and therefore that's what you're going to see the most of.
There has to be fail states in video games, which means a character has to be capable of being hurt. So does that mean that there can be no female protagonists in video games? Because that feels super sexist to me. And frankly, like, women are the victims of violence, and don't we want to see women fucking fight back once in a while?
That character, her hand getting hurt, it has consequences for hours of gameplay to come.
One article even like asked the question, were any women involved in the making of this? And it's like, yeah, the co-writer, the lead character designer, the lead character artist, all the actresses that worked on that scene.
I am so fucking... Here's what I hate about that article. I'm sorry. Do a modicum of fucking research, just a modicum of research, just like a little bit before you put something out there. To suggest that no woman could have worked on this because of the level of violence, because there was violence against women, because it is a video game, is so fucking sexist. I like watching graphic violence. Does that make me less female? Like, I like having a conversation about what power is. Does that make me less fucking female? I like working at a video game. I like playing video games. Does that make me less fucking female? Like, suck a dick. Don't put that in. I can't. I can't. Neil's gonna say put it in, but don't. I also don't represent all women, but I represent, like, I can represent this and say, I fucking wrote this. I wrote this. Like, I literally wrote the sentence, and then Yara eviscerates his esophagus from his throat. I wrote that sentence. That is in the script, and I fucking stand by it. I'm afraid of being turned into a token rather than the truth, which is like, we're being thoughtful about the female narrative. These characters are more than just their vaginas. If you want to have a serious debate about feminism and feminism in video games and female depiction of violence, and you need to not see it as a binary conversation. It is an incredibly nuanced conversation. You cannot make blanket statements, and you cannot make presumptions. Fucking do your homework. I'm right here. I'm tweeting.
The tone of the violence in the game has always been important to portray as realistically as possible.
Our job outside of just drawing up concepts is really pushing our reference pipeline to make sure that the character artists are getting the most realistic examples of whatever they're working on. We can't find certain things, so we make the reference ourselves.
Simulating brain on wall.
1, 2, 3.
How does that drip fall down?
What does canvas look like when it's soaked in blood?
Ooh.
Splashing blood on them, dripping blood on them.
Nice.
We put down some wet mud, pooled blood onto it to see how blood would react to a wet dirt surface. So there's like little pieces of grass and like twigs and things that carry through, like there's actually movement following the edge.
One of the animators got a piece of lamb and we stuck it in Yara's shirt sleeve and hit it with a hammer.
Here we go.
Yeah, we have a break. She's gonna need to hold this as straight, because if she does this, it's gonna, you know, just the weight of it's gonna want to make it fold. So trying to keep it as straight as possible.
This past week's shoot was specific for the infected eating people's jugulars, and there was a concept that was done with like blood running down the mouth, but it's like, would that happen? Like, let's find out. I got on the ground and pretended to eat away at like a bloody soaked rag that we made. It produced some pretty surprising results because like, most of my face got covered in blood.
Look up a little, John, but yeah. Teeth? People here will go to that length of trying to make sure that things feel as real as possible. Yeah, we do a lot of crazy stuff here. Nobody gets hurt, but it's really hard to see these characters that you spend so much time with and, for lack of a better word, kind of like, you know, birthing into existence, tortured and abused.
Suit good.
We're shooting the Joel death scene, which is like the catalyst, the opening of the game. This scene has all of Abby's crew. It's a complicated scene because it's the most actors we've ever had in a single shot.
Y'all act like you're hurting us or
Because they have.
Or Joel doesn't die.
Just me out.
Now that you got that,
hold on.
Hold on, sorry, yeah. Minor line
So
change.
then what happens is
Yeah,
all
yeah.
of us become friends. Knowing what was going to happen and knowing how it was going to happen, I got very fearful.
There's so much weight to this scene. This scene has to be right. It's really difficult to reshoot it if we need to. Within the first game, having to call Troy and Hannah back to reshoot Sarah's death was very, very, very difficult for me.
The last time I tried to do a big emotional scene,
Don't do this, please don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, please, God, no.
อันนี้ตอนภาคแรกที่อุ้มลูกไง
that didn't go too well.
แล้วหนีทหาร
And we
อ่ะ
had to reshoot it.
หนีไอ้ทหารที่มันจะยิงอ่ะแล้วมันยิงโดนลูกมัน อันนี้แรกๆเลยนู่นเลยภาคนู่นเลยอะ
How the hell am I going to play this? Like, how are we going to do this? I don't know if I can do this.
ภาคแรกฉาก
I
แร
don't
ก
know if
เลย
I have the chops. Am I going to put Laura through this? Because I know how hard it's going to be on her.
Audio, camera, speak. Rolling.
Take one, Mark.
Action.
Joel Miller.
Who are you?
Guess.
Why don't you just get out whatever speech you rehearsed? Get this over with.
You don't get to rush this.
At the end, I really loved what he brought to it.
I couldn't wait to get back into Ellie's shoes again because it's where, weirdly, I feel most comfortable in a lot of ways because it feels like a character that feels the most like me that I've ever played, which is a little disturbing. I mean, minus like the murder and the killing.
So it's almost like a bit of step forward, like you're about to like lunge and shoot.
Sweet.
The biggest change that has happened since the initial pitch is Ellie is there when Joel is killed. It used to be she came across the body, and then she had to rely on Tommy's testimony of what happened, and we shifted it, which made it much more dramatic and intense for her, and I think puts more of it on screen and again allows you better to understand why she needs to pursue these people.
The hardest part for me was looking over at Ashley.
No! No!
Knowing that Troy was gonna not be a part of it as much was really hard. And knowing that Joel was not gonna be in Ellie's life anymore, it was hard. So much of that day kind of feels like a blur because there were so many feelings involved in it.
What I had to do, I felt was very, very little. There's one reaction, and beyond that, we're on Ashley. There was no acting. There was pure, raw emotion. I'm staring in the face of that.
Joel! What are you doing this? Get the fuck off me!
I'd lost a little bit of my voice. I couldn't scream like as loud as I wanted to, you know, to get that frustration and that sadness out.
Ashley was behind, crying, and God. And knowing Abby was taking this away from her was very difficult. And so I was crying when we were filming that scene. Yes, it was very emotional. You want what I want, right?
End it. Now.
Wait, please stop! No! No! Joel! Joel! No!
him to die in this really unforgiving sort of way. Like, it needs to feel senseless for you to say, fuck these people, I'm gonna pursue them to the ends of the earth and make them pay. If the scene doesn't work with what we captured on the stage, almost nothing we do in post is gonna make it work. Joe will take a pass at the scene, and I'll give kind of high-level notes.
But he's doing it without animated cameras, without character models, without environment. And so it's a bit of a guessing game to see if this will work.
So I like the concept. I felt like there was a lot of repetition and it felt long.
Once like Joel's head gets smashed, I don't want a close-up look of him.
Okay.
I wonder if we could do like the smash from the back of his head.
Yeah, I'd want
So
it.
you just like it'd be like a black shape, and you see like a silhouette change, and like blood starts pouring out, but I don't focus on it. Like I don't see the details.
Mm-hmm.
When the club comes down and it's just like she's screaming, I feel like we could just take all their audio out and like music could take over. And again, we're trying to build more rage than sadness. That's going to really set up our journey.
Okay.
I'll come back and there'll be another version of the scene.
Okay, play.
Joel, fucking get up! Please stop! Please don't. Joel, please stop! No!
Overall, it's fucking awesome. Like I got emotional just the part where before he gets killed. It feels so fucking tense.
There certainly is still a ton to do. We still have like 45 scenes that haven't even been looked at yet. It's terrifying given our deadline. The process right now is just getting Neil. We just need to get Neil into the room.
Which one are we showing first? We've got essentially 3 versions. The one that I did, and this would work with what we're talking about doing with the scene, and then...
Close one.
I would probably say
There are people standing
this,
here
yours,
sometimes.
Mel, or
I got bad news.
Mel, yours, this.
He's canceling?
He's canceled.
But we had the cameras set. He's supposed to come in. He's the
Actually, it's good we're getting this on camera.
This is what it's not about. This is what it's about.
Yeah, he has some melee stuff to review today. He said let's pick it up tomorrow.
So yeah, that's what happens. And so it's like, okay, all right, that's fine, I don't care. Yeah.
I get called up to Neil's office one day.
เบื้องหลังนี้ก็ยาวเหมือนกันนะเนี่ย
And there's like
ตั้งแต่แรกเลยนะเนี่ยแต่
and
เริ่มเลย
Neil just goes like, oh, just sit down. I'm like, oh my God, I did something wrong. And he's like, do you know why you're here? And I'm like, no, are we going to talk about one of my levels? And he laughs and he goes like, no, you're going to work on the E3 demo. It's always been a dream of mine, working on an E3 demo, seeing it on stage. Is this a joke? Like, am I getting pranked right now?
So speaking of E3 demos, remember way back when you guys said you were going to block that content and then not touch it? How's that go?
Well, and then we ship just the glossiest, best-looking demo you've ever seen. We burn that to a disc at the beginning of January, and then we don't touch it again, and nobody sees it until E3. Well, I think we knew at the time that we weren't going to not touch it. It's going to be really interesting to see if we can really commit to being done and not be tempted to say like, it could be a little better, let's go back. Because the game's been making progress for the 10 months or something since we locked that demo down. A lot of advances have been made, a lot of new ideas, new mechanics, and we really just need to have the discipline not to do that. Honestly, it feels like we are addicted to being late.
Okay, we're starting. I don't know exactly what we're gonna do today other than come up with a really long list. We're trying to limit it to an hour, so we'll be done at 4 no matter where we're at. Looking at the cinematics first.
Because we did it so early and had a rough version of it a year in advance, we got a bit complacent.
Dina วะ
But not quite the show.
อะไรนะ
Sure is. Where are we on getting physics on these strands?
We are working on it.
So for next time? For next time?
Yes, absolutely.
We didn't scramble to figure out
เมื่อกี้มันอะไรนะ
show
แคท
the structure of like the festival going into this fight in the woods in Seattle. But it was harder to build the momentum we usually have. And I think that panic just wakes everybody up and felt like it took us a bit longer to get there this time.
So then you go in as if to kill this guy, see somebody over there. Oh, breaks 50% of the time, but use your imagination.
Yeah, going a bit slower, give him some time.
Okay.
The animation is breaking the melee system.
Okay.
Well, like when he starts, yeah.
So I'm confident in the demo if we finish it. I'll be frank, it's not looking great.
All right, this is totally broken. For next week, let's make sure it's all there so we could actually review it.
Yep.
Okay, thanks, everyone.
I feel like this demo is cursed.
The E3 demo. It was a version of our original Greenlight demo. But I had to make it fully playable and shippable.
Viper!
The first thing I did was just basically take that space made by another level designer and put just enemies in it and start fighting. But when I started playing it, I remember like it wasn't there. That parking structure was way smaller, so it felt more cramped.
God is good.
God is good.
I remember going to Neil's office and being like, how much can I change this? And he's like, well, what are you thinking? I'm like, well, I'm thinking like this big thing, and I'm like, just like brand new designer, I'm just throwing out like everything, like I want to do this and I want to do that. I want to make sure that it feels like a sandbox, that it feels like this big space, that it's multiple paths. It's like something like we really haven't done before in The Last of Us. And he just goes, go for it. Well, let's do it.
We picked a location in Seattle that essentially is probably the hardest lighting scenario we would have to pull off in the game. I wanted to get the overcast look nailed because so much of the game's dependent on that. How do we pull off this look? Can we pull off this look?
Everything felt a little muted, and we were losing kind of that next-gen quality of our engine.
Like for a second, we actually turned the sun on in the demo.
But we lost the mood of that overcast kind of blue look.
That moment was really rough for me. Just felt like years of my life that potentially would have just been like wasted on this pipe dream of a look.
Well, we were struggling, like last summer, it was like a fine balancing act.
Is this whole thing just gonna crumble? Like, is the whole direction like now gonna have to change for the game, not just this demo? Have I steered this company wrong?
Took some really big iterations and tried some crazy ideas, and we came up with kind of a hack.
We talked with the programmers and found a few settings that actually gave us exactly what we wanted. It was really like one thing.
We faked the sunlight within this kind of ambient look so we could get some directionality of the lighting.
That it was like, oh, if we do this one thing, it actually got us the look we wanted. So like, I'm glad that happened.
For this game, there was a major push to make a new volumetric fog system. It's not just like a kind of an overlay on top of the screen. That's why it's called volumetric. You feel the volume of it. It's gonna be a little bit thicker near the ground, right? Because there, you know, you will see grass kind of getting through it. Fog also allows you to see the light. Fog adds atmosphere. Atmosphere brings everything together. Now with this game, we did add recently some new tech that allows us to make some of the water drips more dynamic, meaning that if you have a car, you will see a water, follow the glass, follow the hood, and then from the bumper, you're gonna start seeing dynamic droplets. So that was really cool. And then we can now actually also use this technology to drive blood. Now we can have blood dripping and we have water dripping. The water trail can pick up where is it bloody. And if it's bloody, it can change its own color and start dripping more red. And on top of it, we also clear out the blood. So what you will see is you will see bloody area, you will see water trails going down, and you will see the water trails washing out the blood and picking up the redness and going down. Really, really cool.
In the E3 demo, we do want to show our next-gen animation system.
One of the biggest animation upgrades that we wanted to add to this project was motion matching. The way that it works is it takes a pool of animation data and it picks the most appropriate clip to blend together and create just very fluid and organic movement. We want these characters to just feel grounded and believable in the world, properly shifting their weight and moving the way a real human would. In order to capture all of those on the stage, we use something called a dance card, a choreographed set of patterns that the actor can move on the floor.
Basically, that's creating this like bank of little pieces of animation. The motion matching system just pulls from that bank all the animations necessary to have them move perfectly in any arbitrary way. When it works, it's like so far and away better than any other animation technique. It's like a quantum leap of the highest order in terms of quality.
Any one mechanic is not maybe anything you haven't seen before. It's the combination of how it all comes together, the way it works with the animation system.
The new stuff we're talking about is like, oh, you can be in grass.
She went into the grass. Watch yourself.
Like one of the biggest things we do in the demo is jump a gap. It's tough to be like, oh crap, you can jump, you know, like it's like, but it's new to our game.
We have to have the best prone mechanic of all time. Yeah, no one's ever seen when I aim in prone and she actually like rolls up on her back and aims like this. Like it can never clip through geometry. Being able to rotate 360 in all directions. It can never like do a janky thing when she's reloading while doing it or aiming in water. There's like an IK thing that like lift her chest and head up, and then it gets too deep. Now we're in a special prone underwater moveset thing. Her chest and arms and everything are kind of matching ground plane.
แอบบี้ไม่ใช่เอล
That
ลี่
a player will never notice. And it's because we like
ไม่มีอะไรเข้าตาเลยใช่ไหม
there's no such thing as like,
ฮะ
oh, you know, it's not as good as, you know, this
โอ้
other game's one,
ลืม
but,
ตาอย่างกับ
like,
ใส่แว่น
it's
ดำน้
fine. It's got to be like, no, it's fucking Naughty Dog. We have to have the best version of the thing, whatever that is.
ำแค่เราลืมตาว่ายน้ำในสระว่ายน้ำอ่ะโอ้แสบชิบหายแล้ว นี่แบบ
E3 overall was amazing. The press conference was in a very different venue. They usually have them in like these big auditoriums. And this was kind of like almost like a pop-up.
It was more like a theme park idea, but it's like in a parking lot, in a tent, in Los Angeles at downtown. They built the whole crazy church thing, which was pretty rad.
It was super cool. It was better than we expected. And you could feel like the tension of people trying to figure out, what is this press conference? What's going on? What game are they going to show here? On the Naughty Dog logo, you get this big cheer. On the Ellie reveal, you get this big cheer. Every moment that we've constructed and planned like meticulously for really a year now hit the way we wanted it to hit.
Maybe they're jealous of you. I'm just a girl, not a threat. I think they should be terrified of you.
One of the biggest reactions was when the HUD came on. They looked at that forest and thought, there's no way it can look this good. Like, that's impossible. But when we flash the HUD and be like, yeah, that's it. This is the real game. People are not ready for this. Like, this is gonna fuck you up.
อันตรายเลย
I told you. They should be terrified.
It was electric. My skin was like tingling the whole time.
Like as soon as it's done playing, I'm like on my phone.
And it was wild. It was wild to see it just everywhere. See it on YouTube, see people commenting on it. It was a really special moment. I shipped something, like, as a level designer.
There was such a reaction to the animation fidelity. Holy crap, this is the best looking animation I've ever seen. Are you kidding me?
We're on the forums going through the messages,
Animation
seeing how much
ดี
people
จริงอะ
think
นะ
it's amazing. Someone's like, sort of cynically, that our stuff was fake.
I guess it's kind of a compliment to the animation team for like someone to say it's fake when they're working so hard. And right away I responded, I was like, don't respond, don't do anything, like it's just not professional.
I was also a little anxious about it because it's a little fake, you know?
Fake is an interesting word. There's an argument that he's right.
It's not the final polished game. You can't just play this demo in any way. You have to play it in this very specific way. But before we even show the demo, it's like, let's not put anything in there we feel like we can't do.
There was no thing of like, we don't know how we're gonna do that. It was just, we literally just don't have it systemic yet. You know, like systemically, a guy pulling you out from underneath a car, we didn't have that hooked up yet. Now we have it hooked up in the game.
It's her! God! Arthur! All over soon.
Ultimately, as we're building the rest of the game, if anything feels like it's not the right call for the game, we don't mind changing it. Like we had certain things in the demo for the first Last of Us where like Joel picks up a pistol and takes out individual bullets from it and then pockets it. And like we could have done that, it just took too long. So for gameplay purposes, we cut that out.
I was talking to other animators and they were like, yeah, man, they think it's fake. They have no idea, like it's awesome.
The same animators who made this demo are gonna make the final game, so like, I don't know what you're talking about.
They were confident, which I'm glad.
We knew what we were doing and we knew how special it was. It was a little bit of a microphone drop to the industry, and for many it was inspirational, and they were excited to be able to add some of those details to their games and their future games, and for some of them it absolutely freaked them out to see this might be the new bar that's expected for other games to follow.
Part of me is like, oh shit, like they're fucking calling us out. It's like we have to deliver this. Like we always were gonna, but now it's like people have called us out, so we have to do a full body throw animation when you pick up a bottle and you're running, and not just a partial animation because that guy fucking called us out.
The real challenge is making the whole game look as good as this one controlled situation.
We come out of E3 and hopefully we've set the standard for this, what the rest of the game needs to feel like.
When you already know exactly what you're supposed to do in the game, you've memorized everything, it's hard to have a true experience with it. You have to bring in people from the outside to play it fresh.
And so we try to start playtesting as early as possible. We've got testers in bright and early. They're going to start playing the game. They're actually just right across the hall over here.
It is a fire drill.
อีกอาชีพหนึ่งที่ผมแบบสนใจกันนะแบบอยากทำกันนะพวกเกมเทสนี่แหละแบบมานั่งเทสแล้วก็มารีวิว
So I'm
บอก
currently
เด็บ
watching 10 people that we have in at the moment focus testing. We've got all of their screens up, so I can kind of watch all of them at the same time, generally keep track of any kind of recurring patterns or how long people generally take in certain areas.
They do things we haven't thought of, and it really shows us where our holes are. It's like, maybe I should change this. Maybe I should try that.
This player's pretty lost, trying to figure out this puzzle here, and they're trying to jump on a truck. He's got a really awesome solution here where he's putting this plank on a dumpster, and now he's moving the dumpster around. So we'll probably have to go in there and like try and fix some of that stuff up, but we'd rather figure that out now than in 6 months.
For things like puzzles like this one, that although they're figuring out the puzzle, they're actually not doing it in the kind of order that I'd like. What would be better is if they came into the space and realised, okay, that's the thing I need to be like climbing up to or getting to, and then they can kind of work backwards from there and go, well, if I need to get there, how do I get up? Oh, I can get up on this thing. It's quite heartbreaking when you see people who are like really confused or don't get it, and it's something you think like it should be obvious, but it's not at all. But it's good data.
We've had a few people on the team that have been really passionate about making our games even more accessible for people with different kinds of disabilities and making sure as many people as possible can experience our game.
Accessibility is something that like really touches a lot of people. As we get older, pretty much all of us are going to have probably some sort of accessibility need.
It's important to welcome people with disabilities into all of our public spaces,
สรุปเราเล่นเกมอะไร
into
อ่ะ
our shared culture.
พวกเนี้ย
And
แชท
video games are a rich part of that.
I love this that you don't have to have like a 2-button feature to keep her crouched down. This is awesome. I love that.
Brandon Cole,
เดี๋ยวลอง
he
ไล่
said,
ดู
I
ดิ
heard you announce this game.
อ๋อ
What
Into
do you
the
think
Dead
about the
ไง
possibility of someone like myself being able to play it? And Brandon
Into
is
the Dead ก็
one.
น่าสนใจนะ
I hadn't really thought about that before. I don't even know if that's even possible, but I
Wow.
want to try because that sounds interesting. If you click on the L3 button,
มีอะไรอีก
turns
นะ
the screen and the
Expedition
character towards
33เหรอ
your next objective.
โอ้แต่มันเลยตอนลดราคามาแล้วอะดิ
To sort of instantly sort of flip.
It was very much inspired by the talk you gave last time you were here.
I figured.
Hopefully that's
อลันเวกลดไหม
We had this feature
น่า
that
จะ
let you
ประมาณเนี้ยมั้งนั่นแหละ ยาวจริงนะเนี่ยนึกว่าจะสั้นๆและนี่คืออะไร ดเล่นกีตาร์อิสระแต่งเกมเพลย์จบแล้วเรียบร้อยเกมนี้เรามาส่องเกมอื่นต่อดีกว่าในลิสต์ผมมีเดี๋ยวกันนะก่อนปิดสตรีมนะลด 90% ไม่มีอะไรน่าสนใจเลยแค่แต่นิดเดียวป้าแย้เราไม่มีอะไรปะป้าแย้เราอะมีอะไรแล้วแค่นี้จบซ้ำโอ้มันไม่ลดแล้วอะดีอันนี้คือในลิสต์ผมนะ1,190ไม่ก็รอเกมนี้ไปเลยอะทำไมในนี้มันโชว์990อ่ะฮะอ๋อเราจะสามารถได้ราคานี้แต่ว่าเราต้องซื้อซีฟูแต่ผมมีแล้วนี่เอาอ๋องั้นผมก็ซื้อชุดนี้ปะ990เหมือนเดิมปะก็ไม่ต้องไปกดไอ้นี่ปะไม่ต้องไปกดไอ้อันเนี้ยถูกไหมถูกไหมมีเกมอะไรอีกอะ Borderlands 4มาเดือน9แต่เกมนี้มันยังไม่เสร็จเลยดิเออรี่เกมนี้ก็น่าสนใจนะที่คัตซีนมันจะเป็นแบบว่าเหมือนเป็น stop motion อะแต่ว่าตอนสู้มันจะเป็นแบบว่า hack and slash อะไรเงี้ยเป็นต่อสู้มีเวทอะไรเงี้ยน่าสนใจไหมภาพมันสวยอยู่นะซับโนติก้า2อ๋อไอเกมดำน้ำใช่ไหมอ๋อผมลิสต์ไว้ปะผมลิสต์ไว้มายังไม่มาออโตไอเกมนี้ตอนแรกมันมีให้เปิดเพย์เทสแต่ว่ามันปิดไปแล้วมันเป็นแนวแบบว่าเราลงไป3คนแล้วก็เหมือนลงไปพื้นที่อ่ะไปเซอร์ไวเวลไปเก็บทรัพยากรไปฟาร์มแต่ว่าเวลาเราโดนฆ่าตายก็หายไปหมดเลยมันเป็นเหมือนเป็นเหมือน PVP อ่ะคือเนี้ยมันเหมาะกับเล่นหลายคนเนาะหมดนี่เกมนี้มาปีหน้าเอ้ยใช่ปะ ปีนี้สิ แต่ไม่รู้วันไหน Little Nightmare ภาคใหม่ อันนี้ก็รออยู่เหมือนกัน ผมเล่นหมดแล้วนะภาค 1 ภาค 2 เล่นหมดแล้วไอ้นี่เกมอะไรนะแอลสยองขวัญเหรอเรื่องไซไฟอ่ะเดี๋ยวค่อยว่ากันพรุ่งนี้แล้วกันเนาะยังนึกไม่ออกอ่ะโอเคตามนั้นแชทเจอกันพรุ่งนี้นะก็จบไปแล้วเรียบร้อยเดอะลาสดอกอัดยอดเยี่ยมไปเลยเดี๋ยวไปเช็คราคาอารันเวกหน่อยเดี๋ยวอารันเวกก็น่าเล่นนะอารันเวกราคาเท่าไหร่อ่ะถ้าผมจะไม่ผิดอารันเวกมีมอดภาษาไทยด้วยนะแป๊บนึงนะอารันเวกอันนี้ก็เกมกินสเปคเอาเรื่อง1,250อ่ะภาค 1ผมเคยเล่นอยู่ภาค 2จัดปะล่ะสเปคมันอะไรอ่ะมันมีในสตรีมไหมอ่ะอ๋อมีแต่ภาค 1เป็น Exclusive เหรออันนี้ภาค 1โอเคไว้ว่ากันเจอกันครับทุกคนเจอกันพรุ่งนี้ไปแล้วก็ขอบคุณที่ตามกันจนจบซีรีส์นี้เลยนะพักผ่อนได้ทุกคนเจอกัน